It's good to be on a show with you guys again.
Yes.
It's been a minute. How you doing?
Yeah, we're back. Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, man. Well, we've all been on a lot of shows on YouTube, but we haven't taken time off from YouTube. We just haven't gotten the schedules to work out for this show in a couple of weeks because I did some traveling, and then there's been a lot of other things like Slapdown and other commitments. So I'm glad we got some time to sneak together and talk about dumb stuff like food and snacks and video games.
Yeah.
for
Well, I
another
mean,
Sunday.
We
So,
also had D23, so besides
yeah, we
the,
got D23.
the snacks, we had a pop culture reason to get together and hang out.
100%. Yeah, definitely a big news went down and content and trailers and all sorts of stuff in the Marvel and Star Wars universes this weekend. There's nobody in the chat to shout out, so I can.
I was just going to be like,
can just
Jeffrey,
skip that
the
part.
chat is on and popping tonight. Can you run down for us, sir?
Uh,
There we go. We got
How do
the
I?
big
Yeah.
D.
How do I? Oh, StreamYard says live YouTube comments show up on StreamYard. This is an
McD
example.
popped in, man. Thanks for staying awake, sir.
Man.
What is it,
McD,
like 2 a.m. over
we
there?
can always count on you, McD. Thanks for stopping by for not making us feel like
Congratulations on 400
yeah,
subs.
congrats on 400 subs, man. Hope
Yeah.
everything's going well with the new place and everything, and you're getting things set up. We're looking forward to seeing that. So why don't we just go ahead and start with the most, the segment of this show that has the most stakes, and that's snack time. So.
Well, I think you guys have way more than I do this week, so I'm just gonna get mine out of the way.
Go ahead.
I couldn't resist, so I already kind of started into it. I got a half-eaten honey bun. I mean, this is a staple of so many early morning, late breakfast snacks.
Hell yeah.
If you got a homie in lockup, make sure you swing by and throw a couple of these in his commissary because this is a snack of choice.
Yeah, top ramen goods.
Dude, I could actually taste that right now while watching you eat.
It hits like the
I know
sugar
that
and gooey goodness. It like hits your brain cells. You're just like, yeah, I'm ready. I remember that.
Yeah, remember, like you take it out of the package and you eat it with your hands, and then you get it all over your fingers.
And it's almost slightly better, like a little bit melted, like you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That.
Dude, I'll stick it in the dash of my car sometimes if I go in somewhere. That'll heat up real quick. Come back
and
and
and if it's in the summer, it'll organically like slightly melt. You know, like wherever you put it. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. So Jeffrey and I both got the same Universal Yums box this month. So I'm just here's the bonus paper. This is like a comic book. I'm gonna bag and board it.
Where'd you guys travel to this month?
So we traveled to Turkey, where there's a lot of Turkish delight. Apparently, that's one of their favorite, I guess, textures for some of these snacks. Which is, I guess, not everybody likes that texture. I mean, it's not my favorite either, and I'm with you there, Jeffrey. But I mean, I still was.
It wasn't. I wouldn't call it horrible either.
I still enjoyed experimenting with the flavors and the texture, but it wouldn't be my go-to either. But so that there was just straight up Turkish delight in there. So I already ate this box. So there's
are they all just one flavor, or were they each different?
There's 3 flavors: rose, lemon, and orange. But the core ingredients are like sugar, cornstarch, water, citric acid, beet powder, and paprika for color. So it's kind of like a gelatin. Yeah, exactly. So it's very. Oh,
and it's got like the powdered outside.
Yep. Yeah, it's almost like a powdered donut with like gelatin underneath it. That's what it looks like. It's got that powdery look. But it's tasty, but it's got, to Jeffrey's point, it's got a weird.
I wish it was a little like chewier,
I would agree with that.
Snacky kind of thing. I guess that's probably the American in me.
Because when I looked at it, when I picked up the piece, you expect that, right? And then you start chewing it, and you're like, oh, this is.
It's really like Jello-y almost, soft, and you go right through it.
This kind of it's almost like granola bar-ish, but it's called Keefis. And it also has Turkish delight in it, but it's also got crushed up pistachio peanuts. So that's gonna hurt me later. I have to clean up my keyboard right after that. So that's
I know we were talking off air about that, but is that gelatinous stuff in the middle of that too?
Yeah. See?
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. So I like this a little bit more than the standard Turkish delight. So I kind of saved a little bit of it while I barreled through.
Try to make it last.
Yeah. And then this thing, which I think Jeffrey already dug into.
It was good. I like
he said it was like coffee cake-ish.
If you don't like coffee cake, you probably won't like it. But
there's also like orange flavor in it. See that little oranges in the background?
I'd say it's more like a zest of orange because it's not like you don't get it right away. You know, you basically just taste the coffee cake, and then when you're done, it's like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of orange.
So I don't know if it's called enjoy kek or it's just they're telling you to enjoy it, and it's called kek.
Yeah, right.
Like I don't. That part I'm not quite sure on, but it's pretty decent. Then I haven't quite finished this yet, but I did like this. It's like this soft nougat bar with peanuts. Pretty straightforward and tastes about what I expected to. It's got like cocoa and hazelnuts in it, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah, by the way, for the viewers at home, I decided to skip this month's box, and you'll soon see that it was a terrible choice on my part because it's probably the best box that's been out so far.
Well, this made the box, and there was two. They included two like full size packets of these in here, and they're calling them Lush, I guess. They're cocoa cream cookies with like this mastic mosaic kind of flavor on top, but with like the chocolate filling in it on the inside that you can see there in the image.
So good, yes.
Really good.
They kind of remind me of like a higher end of those Keebler ones that are Keebler doesn't have. They're just a white cookie with the
filling on the inside. Those were good, dude. I remember those. So yeah, here's like, ooh.
Yeah, that looks way cooler than the Keebler one.
It reminds me almost of those cookies, like a sugar cookie. If you had a sugar cookie and you melted like a Hershey Kiss inside of it,
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's a good description of it, man. My area here is a complete mess now.
I don't
know. I was like sorting comics over here like earlier today. And it's like I gotta clean this up now, otherwise I'll have like little like cocoa flakes like in between pages over here.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole bunch of savory stuff, most of which I like destroyed on like day 1 and 2. Those were great.
I usually do that too, man. I kind of tend to save the desserts for last, so I can just go to town on them.
But there was this one last savory thing that I didn't quite finish.
Yeah, same here. I tried. This is ironically the first one I tried, and I was like, I don't know, it's all right. It doesn't really have a lot of flavor.
Yeah,
and then I moved on to other ones.
It's kind of bland. Like I'll take one of the chips out. It's almost like a cereal. You see that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of.
So it's like a puff?
It's like a rice puff or something, like golden crisp or golden grams or whatever that was.
What did I see on the package? It says kebab flavor.
It says Kabapli kebab.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the company.
I don't know.
Like if you smell it, it almost smells like chicken top ramen seasoning.
Well, so the core ingredient is chickpeas and yellow corn. So it's like yellow corn, flour, chickpeas, and some other like natural stuff. So it's not too heavily seasoned. So it's kind of like if you're looking for like healthy chips, like a healthy chip option, that's probably what people in that culture are going to, is this kind of product, I guess.
So would you think that's maybe like your qualms with the chip is that it needed more seasoning?
Yeah, it needed more seasoning. It needed more spice, or it needed more like
more
sugar
flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, like it needed to go in one direction. It really was just like a right down the middle kind of bland flavor. So, Comic Geek Museum is saying he's watching Batman the Animated Series and watching you guys. Do you guys get a candy over there called Time Out? I don't know. Do we? I don't think so.
I haven't heard of it.
I don't think so.
I'll Google it right now.
Just Rican Rod, welcome to the party, sir.
Yo, what's up, Rod? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping in. I know it's a busy Sunday on YouTube, so appreciate that. Shit, I gotta clean up my freaking desk here. This is crazy. Like, I've never I ate one cookie and now it's like all over the place, dude.
You're gonna have to go grab the vacuum.
Dude, it's insane. Now and Later, that is a good call.
Yeah, those were a good one back in the day, man. I used to get that giant block of them.
Yeah, me too. And that's a good way to test your like dental strength at any given moment.
Yeah, I probably couldn't do that about now, but back in the day, that was my candy of joy.
Yeah, if I popped in some Gobstoppers or Now and Laters right now in my mouth, my teeth would fall apart. So.
Dude,
God, get the Jolly Ranchers.
As a kid, but I couldn't do them now, man.
Jolly Ranchers too, man, but their packaging was different back in the day. You could either go and get like the sleeve, like Now and Laters, like they had little squares that you could get in apple, cherry, watermelon, or you could get the sticks, and then you could just turn them into a shank, you know?
Yes. The sticks.
Okay.
They just do them in the little twisty ends that look like Tootsie Rolls, you know?
Well, yeah, and you used to be able to go to like the gas station and you could buy like one of the sticks for like 5 cents, or at least here.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're there, but it'd be next to like the double bubble gums that they'd sell individually down at the bottom. You could get that. You could get like a Tootsie Roll Pop. You could get the Jolly Rancher sucker. You know, like I don't think they have.
Sticks were like the cheaper alternative, but it seemed like a better thing because it was actually kind of a big stick. It wasn't like.
So McDee's calling out a little bit more about what that is. He says it's a Cadbury.
Yeah, I went and looked at it. It's
Cadbury
almost
chocolate.
It kind of almost looks like a Twix with like peanut butter.
So does it have?
Yeah, we don't get a lot of Cadbury.
Does it have a Kit Kat consistency? Because this is a wafer chocolate-based candy. You know, this is the American kind of standard wafer chocolate candy.
Yeah.
I prefer the white chocolate version of it personally. Like, you know how like with both Kit Kat and Reese's Pieces, you can get like the white chocolate option instead of the standard chocolate option.
It's very sweet. I
prefer white chocolate.
I want to go to Japan just for all the Kit Kat varieties that they have there. Like for some reason, they have these amazing amounts of flavors. They have a high-end Kit Kat store.
So in New York City, we have all sorts of different like multicultural shops. Like you can go to Chinatown, you can go into all sorts of like parts of any borough really, and feel like you're in a different country. And I don't remember the name of the shop or even what neighborhood it was, but a couple of years ago, I walked out of a store with green tea flavored Kit Kats.
Yeah.
And I was jamming on those for like a month, dude.
Green tea, wasabi, rose. They have like so many different flavors.
I'm looking at a kit you can buy on eBay right now, and it shows all their flavors. There's like 48: yogurt and nuts, ruby and nuts, matcha and nuts, strawberry cheesecake, rum raisin, fruit and nuts, lemon and salt, strawberry cheesecake, cookies and cream, peach mint, dark chocolate, sakura matcha, Ikanari dango, rum raisin, strawberry cheesecake, red bean sandwich, wasabi, shinsusu, apple, and there's still like 30 other flavors that I just don't want to read all of them.
But we didn't have a big chat tonight, so you just ran down the Kit Kat list. Thank you, Jeffrey Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, how much is that an all-in-one sampler that you can buy on eBay?
Yeah, it's like
because I might totally do that. What's it going for?
How much is it going for?
I think it's $24.
That sounds reasonable.
22.32 plus $4.75.
Lemon Kit Kat? That kind of sounds weird to me also.
This is a 24-piece Japanese Kit Kat variety set.
Huh.
All right, I'm going to have to try that. I think I might do that.
Let me write that down. Yeah. Kit Kat sampler, eBay.
I don't know. I
put it on the list.
I'm adding it to my watch list right now. Kit Kat sampler. Japanese? Is that will I find it that way?
Dude, we're such junk food junkies. Like, we're taking notes about snacks.
Yep. Seriously. Was it the 45 pieces for $45, Jeff?
No, that one I was looking at was 24 for basically $24. But if they got a 45 piece one, man, that sounds even better.
Oh, I see. What is it? 24?
The only thing better than 24 Kit Kats is 44 Kit Kats.
All right, I'll wait till after the show to like finish that research. I don't want to get too.
Rod says, "Good Lord, sounds like diarrhea."
Man, we'll let you know.
Yeah, well, we're not afraid of such things.
Dude, just chase it with some Pepto, bro. You'll be good.
We're good. The other thing that I had that I have just have this I've had this sitting around like because it's not really my favorite. I'll admit Snickers almond version,
Right.
so it's just like a
No,
regular.
but it is a nice change.
But it's nice to mix up your Snickers every once in a while instead of the same old standard Snickers because they got all these other varieties now. So I think I was at like a bodega or something like 2 days ago, and I was like, oh, let me try it. Let me dig on the almond this time, and I still haven't dug into this because I've had all this this Turkish delight to keep me busy. But
I'll tell you, I like the Snickers original. Is my favorite of the Snickers, but
it's still my favorite too.
I really like Baby Ruth, man. The Baby Ruth. The paydays are just a step below the Baby Ruth. You know, they're good, but the Baby Ruth I love them.
I go too quick. Like you always know it's what you're gonna get. Never let you down. Reese's peanut butter cups, man.
Yeah, dude.
You can't go wrong with peanut butter and chocolate.
You know what I like
when it's hot as heck and they melt in your hands.
You know what I like about the paydays though versus the Baby Ruths is that like saltiness. You get that saltiness going with the caramel and the salt.
Yeah, payday's the one with the actual peanuts.
You actually get the peanuts there on the outside, not chocolate coated. Whereas Baby Ruth is chocolate coated. It's the same. It's the same thing essentially on the inside, I think.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it used to be Butterfingers, but I don't know, 5, 6, 7, maybe even longer. A few years back, I feel like it changed because it used to be the same thing forever, and then they did like Butterfingers, like something else. Now it's almost like a Butterfinger crunch wafery thing that's in the middle. It's not the same, but original Butterfinger.
I don't know. I've had a love-hate relationship with Butterfinger. Like I love that taste, like that flavor or whatever, but I hate how it gets in your teeth and like just gets like right up in your gums and teeth.
But
and,
Bart Simpson sold me on it as a kid.
Yeah,
Bart McD, man. You see McD there?
Yeah, definitely. Deep fried anything is my jam.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, just come to America. We fry everything, dude.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's why we have
the only thing you can't like deep fry is like Skittles, I think, because they just dissolve.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, we got Oreos.
Dude, deep fried Oreos at like an outdoor situation, like a fair or amusement park. It's
deep fried peanut butter and jelly banana sandwiches.
Japanese restaurants do the deep fried ice cream, so I mean, like,
right? That is one of my my favorite desserts at a Japanese restaurant. Fried ice cream.
Oh yeah, the mochi.
Or fried cheesecake, dude.
Oh, I don't think I've had that.
Cheesecake down here. They do fried key lime pie.
Ooh. I love key lime pie, dude.
Oh yeah, the Oreos though.
I make a mean key lime cheesecake.
Pie is like a whole other
show.
Culinary. Yeah, that's like a whole other culinary topic that we could dive deep into probably for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Once you try a deep fried Oreo, you're set.
The original is the deep fried Twinkie, but that just spawned the genius of everything else.
Whatever, right?
Or diarrhea.
What's up, Mr. Gretzky? Good to see you, man.
Mr. Gretzky. Mr. Gretzky is
Gretzky.
One viewer here, so we appreciate you, brother. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in as usual.
I like me some fried pickles.
I haven't had that before.
Yeah, fried pickles are pretty nice.
But I have seen it.
You get like a nice Cajun dipping sauce, and it really sets it off.
Damn. Okay, now I want that. Like,
carnival food, baby.
I scheduled a dinner. I scheduled a dinner tonight, but I was running late. And then I wanted to get back in time for the show. We were like chatting on the IG beforehand. I was like, I'll try to be, back here in time or whatever. So I didn't eat because I wanted to do the show this week. You know what I mean? So as soon as we're done, I'm gonna go seek out some fried pickles, possibly. I don't know if I could Sunday night at like 9:30. I don't know where I go for that.
You gotta look at the food map. What borough are you going to tonight?
Yeah, I just. Well, that's what I do. Is like if I get like a craving or like a specific food idea or like one of you guys inspire me like that, then I'll just go search Google and I'll be like, okay, where in Brooklyn or where in Manhattan, like, does this exist and that is open right now? And then I'll go.
I'm pretty envious about that, man. Like, we don't have that many options. You could literally like go downstairs, hop in an Uber,
honestly,
Uber
that's
Eats,
the best
whatever.
Part. Honestly, it's the best part about living in the New York City, area. Like, within one of the boroughs, like because everything's accessible and things are open pretty late, especially on weekends. So food wise, we can't beat it, dude.
Oh yeah, no. Hey, fried pickles sound like they'd be good with some fried chicken. Some waffles.
Hashtag bodega.
Some coleslaw.
Rod knows what's up. He used to live here. He knows what's up. The bodega is like the glue that binds New York City together, dude.
How did the term bodega even come about?
I don't know.
Because it's not like they're mashing together grocery store, gas station, convenient. It just is bodega.
Deep fried Snickers are big around here. What's up, Jack? Yo, thanks for stopping in, brother.
Oh, hey, yeah, Jack. What up?
Deep fried Snickers sounds good too.
Oh, since we're on food subject, have you guys? There's BuzzFeed, the channel on YouTube. Have you guys ever seen the show Worth It?
Worth It. I think I might have. Is this where they like
Andrew and Steven?
Is this where they like take a certain concept and then show you like the poor way, the middle class way, and like the high end option?
Yeah, it's mainly about food, but they tried to expand it to like apartments and other stuff too.
Yes, I've seen the ones about apartments. I've seen the one about apartments.
But the food is where it's at and where their bread and butter is. And there's actually like a steakhouse. Like he's a famous Japanese like chef, and he has like this very expensive restaurant in New York. But he also has like a burger joint, and that's like I was like, dude, if I go to New York, we're going there, man.
Dude, dude. What's it called?
I forget, man. It was like 2 episodes ago. So if you go to BuzzFeed, I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But it's it's a show that I always find myself trying to find in like on BuzzFeed and watch their episode.
One of the most like New York things I've ever done, and I forget the name of the place, but my buddy knows the name of the place. And it's in like it's like near where the Flatiron building is. Have you ever guys seen the Flatiron building? It's that like building.
Oh yeah, the one that's like on the corner of the.
Yeah, it's like it like splits the street, and it's like very thin, and it kind of like looks like a weirdly thin triangle or whatever. Yeah. So there's this neighborhood that's built around the Flatiron building called the Flatiron District, and there's a Korean restaurant where basically you can go wait in the bar.
Oh, hey, that's a crazy looking building.
What?
That's a pretty crazy looking building.
Oh, the Flatiron building. You looked it up? Yeah. It's crazy looking.
I was like, wait, am I missing something? Are you sharing the screen and I don't see it?
No, sorry. I tried it.
Well, if you want to share the screen, you can. We can do that with StreamYard, but that's up to you. So anyway, there's this kind of like nondescript looking Korean restaurant. You walk into the front, and then you make your way to the back bar area or whatever, and like it's kind of like hybrid Korean restaurant bar. But what nobody knows right away, and you have to be, I guess, in the know to know this, is that right next to the bar, there's this red telephone. So if you go up to the red telephone, there's a certain like procedure. You open up the telephone, somebody's on the other end, and that puts you on a waiting list essentially. So you go back into the Korean restaurant.
Oh, like a speakeasy type of thing?
Yeah. And you go back into the Korean restaurant and then or wait at the bar, have a drink, whatever. And then however long it ends up taking, you'll finally get like notified that they're ready for you, in this secret kind of club downstairs. You go down there, they have the best whiskey and whiskey cocktails that I've ever had in my life. Like insane, like concoctions.
That's awesome,
all
man.
Whiskey based.
So is it really secretive so that like do people go there and really not know to pick up the red phone?
Yeah.
The telephone booth?
Yeah.
I saw that on a TV show, man. No, it was
I know it's part of the gimmick, but
yeah,
I saw that. The guy goes up and he's like, "Oh, where can I get a drink?" And she's like, "Oh, go to that phone booth." And he like picks up the phone booth, and then like the door opens, and I'm like, "Oh, it's pretty crazy."
Yeah, I saw that one
too. Begrudgingly, Bake is the champ. Congrats, Bake. Nah.
Oh, I forget where I was in another chat earlier today. I was like, no, man, the chat is the champ because they're the ones that are like voting for me in round 2 when I should have obviously lost to NYC.
No. You won fair and square. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Thor was badass, dude.
And honestly, what was even more fun was like the 3-hour post-show chat that you, me, Matt, and who else was with us? JP. Yeah, so
yeah, dude, I looked down. I didn't even realize that time was
yeah,
flying, man. We
after
were
the
just
show, we like hung out for like 3 more hours. Like it was insane. Like, and we had some great conversations. So that was probably the
yeah,
highlight.
because normally I want to kind of like say hi, bye, that sort of thing, and
Yeah,
then go to watch like Comic Corps or something. And this
right.
time I was like, I didn't even think to like look. We were
Yeah,
just
I
having
didn't
such a
either.
good time.
It was just fun hanging out, like shooting the shit and just getting into stuff without the whole YouTube community seeing us for a bit. It was good.
So, man, have you guys checked out any of that D23 stuff?
I've checked out some of it.
Yeah.
Probably more so than watching the Star Wars Mandalorian stuff and also the Obi-Wan news, which has me really stoked. But I also heard that there was a Rise of Skywalker exclusive footage that they didn't release publicly, wherein that Rey has spoiler alert if anybody cares about this and doesn't want to know.
Oh, they're going to see it in the advertising marketing.
Well, apparently they're gonna release it tomorrow to the public, so we'll be able to see it. We'll be able to see it tomorrow. But apparently she's got a double-sided red lightsaber.
And apparently her eyes are a little evil looking too. Maybe Anakin-esque when he started going to the dark side.
What do you use a double-sided lightsaber?
Ask Darth Maul, man. He's
Darth
the
Maul,
badass.
Baby. He was the originator of that. And then also, she used a staff to train, which was double-sided. You know what I mean? So
she had the staff the whole time when she was scavenging in the beginning.
Before she ever picked up a lightsaber, she had a staff which mimics a double-sided lightsaber. So
you probably know more than me, but isn't there like lore of who was the of a double-sided lightsaber, like not just Darth Maul. I'm trying to think, Sidious or something. I forget. There was like a big thing around it where it's like this ancient weapon or something, and maybe Plagueis' ancient weapon or something. It was all around.
Are you talking about like the Black
Force
Saber?
Awakens?
The Black Saber?
No, not Black Saber. But what are we missing?
Later, Rod. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Later. But I remember when Force Awakens came out and everyone saw her staff and they're like, "Oh, she's getting the double-sided. It's an old thing of lore. Like she's such and such's daughter." And I'm talking about like a villain. I just can't remember the name, dude.
Yeah, I probably know what you're talking about, but it's not coming.
Yeah, I'm not doing enough justice to. I was just hoping I could spark something in your brain that would
McD, I would have to agree with that. The Mandalorian just looks so badass. Like that trailer just blew my mind. And the music, Bake and I were talking, like we were going back and forth, like that music really like it, I still have the music for that.
I have
in my head. It's on repeat. Like it's in my head, dude.
The third time I watched it, I caught myself like bobbing, like I was in the club or something. Like I was like,
and it's not even like that's not even that kind of music. It's just it's like ominous, mood setting stuff, But it's so.
But that synthesizer, tiptoeing through it with the little beat they do.
It's so effective. So I'm stoked that's like that people are like fired up about that because I am too. Obi-Wan, obviously, I've been waiting for that to happen forever, and I'm really glad that it's going to happen as like a 6 or 7. I don't know how many episodes exactly. I don't think they released that number, but I'm assuming it'll probably be 5 or 6 episodes, hopefully. And that's going to be, I would much rather have a 5, 6, 7 hour Obi-Wan story told over episodes than a 2-hour movie that has to pack it all into like 2 hours. You know what I mean? And try to.
I hope they start doing that, man. Start realizing the mini series is the way to go. You can have a condensed story told in prolonged episodes. You're not doing like a sequel or a trilogy. It just gets told. It's done. It's clean. It's over. Move on.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. So let's move over to the Marvel stuff. How do you feel about She-Hulk, Jeff? I've been dying to talk to you about it.
I've been racking my brain for the last 2 days on who I think should play She-Hulk, and I still haven't come up with a good list. I wish they would have announced. Maybe they don't have a cast for it yet, but
I saw some fans like created images of certain.
I saw one for Rosario Dawson.
I saw that too. I thought that looked pretty badass. I think it would be kind of weird though, since she was just so heavily involved in Punisher and all the Netflix shows. She was like on every Netflix show. Like she went from one show to the other show, and it's like I don't know. Making her She-Hulk, and you're trying to separate yourself from that whole Netflix
You think they're going to do a whole lot of CGI, or you think they're just going to look for a swolled up girl actress? Because if that's the case, they've been doing a lot of cross promoting or cross signing within Disney. And what's her name, Gina, that we were talking about, that's in The Mandalorian.
Look at Jeffrey doing his Google searches on Star Wars. I love it.
What was her name? NYC, Gina Canova or something.
Gina Carano.
Carano. Here's half jacked, man. If you're trying to get a real person, and the way I'm not saying I would pick her, but she's half jacked.
Well, and let's see how she does it. Let's see how she does in Mandalorian first, and then make that decision. Maybe, you know.
But I was just going off of, like, you see Tom Holland and what's his name, Chris Pratt. They're in an animated movie now. Like, everything is cross promoting. They have them signed to the Disney umbrella, and now they're just synergizing, dude, using these guys in these other roles instead of just the other one.
Here's my thought.
Xena? Oh yeah.
That's a good
Warrior
poll.
Princess.
Yeah, well, that's a good.
They need to go with somebody who's young, because they need to keep her around for film wise, franchises, things like that. Because you don't want to just plan on her being in a couple of seasons and then not doing anything with it. They should. I think they should do CGI, because if they do CGI, that opens it up to any actress. And with all the diversity Marvel's been going through, this is a perfect time for them to cast a character of mixed race, because she doesn't. She doesn't have to be. She doesn't have to look like Bruce Banner. She's well, no, I don't. She's Bruce Banner's cousin, which means that she only has to have one relative related to him, which means they could basically put any ethnicity actress in there. So if Marvel was smart, I would hire a young, ethnically diverse female character to play. And do the CGI, because if you do CGI, then you don't have to have some jacked, tall-looking person. You can go with anybody.
And I kind of like the idea of more of an unknown or new person. You know what I mean? Yeah. New face, new name. You know, without a ton of track record, so that you don't.
She doesn't need to be jacked when she's not the She-Hulk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Like, if they're gonna do the CGI the whole time and it's a TV show, like, it could get expensive to have her in that. The whole how many episodes they're gonna do and how many seasons they do. So, do you go practical and have like a jacked female actress, or you know what I mean? Like,
then you're gonna get like Lou Ferrigno Hulk from the 70s.
I mean, Gretzky.
Dude, I'm with you. I think it would look better CGI, like the same way they're doing the Hulk in the movies. But you know, those movies come out once every 3 years or whatever. You know,
we are talking about Disney though. Like, I mean, if anybody's got the money to do it, it's gonna be them.
I think Gretzky makes a decent suggestion. WWE female wrestler. I mean, I don't know the current options for that, because I stopped watching actively. You know what I mean? You guys probably have a better idea than me. Like, who are the current female WWE wrestlers?
I only know what's Flair's daughter and Bret the Hitman Hart's daughter. That's I don't even know their names.
I don't know.
Sorry, don't hate me, wrestling fans.
Acting-wise, I think you're far away though.
McDee's saying that he hopes he gives them the same amount of CGI quality like they did with Mark Ruffalo. I think when it comes to these Disney Plus series in general, especially based on what we're seeing out of The Mandalorian right now with the footage and the trailers, like, and I don't see Marvel Studios spending less money than Lucasfilm on these Disney Plus shows. So I'm hoping that they really, that they make these movie quality budgets and.
Yeah, we really don't know how they're going to attack it. They could film it like a movie and then just chop it up into episodes.
No, that's what I was going to say. It's only going to be probably like 8 episodes. You know what I mean? Half an hour at most, maybe even 25 minutes, because you know how they do it. Sometimes they cut them down since there's no commercials. So if you're looking at 8 shows that are half an hour long, she's probably not going to be in CGI the whole time. So you say you're in CGI half the time out of 8 times 3, that's 240 divided by 60. What is that, like 4 hours worth of filming? 2 hours in CGI? Yeah. That's probably not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, really, she's going to be probably human for half of the first episode, and then after that,
she'll probably be human the whole first episode. I'm just assuming, but you want to give a good origin story, and then at the end of it, she'll probably be turning into the Hulk or getting the transfusion or something.
Right. Yeah, then maybe the beginning of the second one. But
at the same time, you got to remember she's a lawyer, so she is an intelligent person. So you who knows what you got to get an actor.
She's not only is she a lawyer, but she's like a high-powered, like kind of celebrity lawyer.
Right. So you need to get somebody who can pull off an intelligent character, because I'm sorry, some people just can't do that.
So the other two shows are, of course, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, of which I haven't read much. I've read a little bit.
I've read. I haven't heard anything about these other series. I've only
right, but I'm happy that show is moving forward, especially for certain, I guess, cultural representation reasons. But I'm concerned about the practical way of doing the effects of her powers. Like, her powers are very extreme.
I think it's going to be an animated, isn't it?
Is it?
No, that's the What If series is animated.
No, What If is animated, but I heard.
Maybe I misread some. I thought I heard Miss Marvel was going to be an animated show.
No,
Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk.
Yeah, Miss Marvel is live action, and Kevin Feige literally said we will be introducing her in Miss Marvel on Disney Plus, and then she will appear in the MCU films from there. That's what.
Really?
That's what he said. So the trajectory for her has already been set for Disney Plus series, and then showing up in the movies from there. So they're really going to have to kill that from a special effects CGI standpoint, because
I've seen like a couple cartoons of her, and you're right. Her powers are going to be kind of weird. It's almost like a
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have to figure out Mr. Fantastic too eventually.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, because they did a horrible job.
Precursor. Yeah, good way to like work out that tech and that CGI look, I guess, before Reed Richards enters the picture. So that's actually not bad way of looking at it. And then, of course, Moon Knight, the show everybody's been yelling for till the cows come home for the past several years, finally has happened.
For me.
So I'm pretty stoked about that. I don't think there were really any details, like no casting, no directing, no writing.
They didn't give any of them, no.
Just a logo at this point. I don't even know if there was a date, right?
Still Phase 5, though, right? I think most of that stuff was a Phase 5 announcement.
No. What they did was they showed the Phase 4 slate that they put out at Comic-Con, and they like zoomed out, and then they added these things to the end of it.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I think they're still calling it Phase 4, and they're just adding these things to the end of Phase 4. Is what my understanding was of it, because they didn't announce anything on the movie side. Is where it's kind of a little bit like, did they really have a big impact or not? Because we all knew Black Panther 2 was coming. They just finally put a date on it and had Ryan Coogler come out.
All right, because they did mention the Falcon and the Winter Soldier too.
Right. Well, that was already announced. That's not a movie. That's a Disney Plus.
Right. That's one. But they announced a couple of the characters.
Right. They announced some casting. That Sharon Carter is going to be in it. From Civil War and Winter Soldier, and some new guy that I don't know.
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell. Yeah.
He's like Kurt Russell's son or something like that. He's playing John Walker.
Ask Fox to help with Reed Richards. Is Mark Ruffalo in it sometimes? I don't know. I don't think that they disclosed if Ruffalo has anything.
They're going to probably do it for the blood transfusion in the beginning, right? Well, and then he'll probably dip out.
Back before they had actually officially announced this, like I'm talking maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I was hearing rumors of the She-Hulk series and that they had signed Mark Ruffalo to contract for the She-Hulk series to appear in it. So that was all they said. They didn't say how much. And I mean, like, I don't remember if that was directly from Marvel or if it was off some random website I found at 1 a.m. in the morning or whatever. So, I mean,
I can imagine them being there for 2 episodes and then maybe like at the end of season 1 or season 2, they're going to have like a team up with them, because you're going to have Hulk and She-Hulk team up and like kick ass, dude. You have to.
Dude, I could just, I'm just like picturing seeing that on the screen. That sounds awesome. I can't wait.
It'd be a good way to work the Hulk in, since they can't make.
So, McDean's got to get out of here. Thanks, brother. We appreciate you hanging in here. It's
Thanks, McDean.
So go crash. Always good to see you here. Thanks, man.
Yeah, so, Jeffrey, you gotta have them in, but you don't want them in there too long to like overshine She-Hulk. She's got to set her own presence. So that's why I mean, like the whole season 1 will probably be like 2 episodes with him, like the whole blood transfusion, him checking in on her.
It's interesting that they didn't necessarily say she would end up in later movies either. Like I didn't hear that.
I think they're gonna feel it out, man.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, but they already did that with Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. They already said flat out that she's going to go from this to the movie. So that I find that kind of interesting. Like they're both strong female characters, but you would only pre-announce one of them as making it over to the movies.
Right.
I don't know if that means anything. Probably not. Probably just they only had time to say so much. I guess. And then outside of Black Panther 2, the only other movie news was additional casting choices for the Eternals. So we have Cersei officially confirmed as Gemma Chan, and then we have, of course, we had another character that I'm not as familiar with, and I don't remember the actor's name, Druid or something, Druid.
Oh yeah, the little girl or boy, I don't know.
No, that's Sprite. That's
yeah, Sprite, and then Druid came in at the end. Totally.
Yeah, yep. and then of course the big deal news is Dane Whitman, non-Eternal character, but gonna be in the Eternals movie. Dane Whitman, the third Black Knight, being played by Kit Harington, aka Jon Snow. So and Rob Stark is playing Icarus, right? So Richard Madden. So you have both Stark brothers from Game of Thrones in the Eternals movie, which is interesting.
I think it was a great setup, and you had mentioned earlier, Jeffrey, about diversity. Like that is one of the most diverse casts.
Oh yeah,
Eternals. When you saw that everyone come out. I mean, and they're great people too, man.
I didn't see that.
I forgot his name from.
Angelina Jolie doesn't age or something.
She's in it,
right? Yeah, man. They introduce her at the end, and everyone just goes crazy.
They were talking about something with the Watcher too. Did you guys hear about that?
Jeffrey Wright. Yeah, Jeffrey Wright. I don't know if he came out or whatever, but he's the narrator. He's playing the Watcher, and of course, if you read any What If comics, the first page is always the Watcher.
The Watcher. He pretty much narrates it all.
And saying, what if this, and then you get into the story.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about, was that he's probably going to be in it as the narrator because that's what he did.
But I think that we did get more details, from Feige. He said basically all 23 MCU films to date prior to Phase 4 they're each going to get an episode where something core to the story of that MCU film changes, right? So for Captain America, the first Avenger, for example, the change is going to be Peggy Carter. Right? Peggy Carter gets the serum, the super soldier serum or whatever. I think also some sort of Marvel zombie thing was confirmed with Captain
I'd like to see what if Wolverine killed the Hulk. That'd be a
great.
Quick way to introduce Wolverine real quick.
Yeah, dude. I picked up a super high grade copy of that What If issue last year at New York Comic Con. I'm going to be looking out for What If books all con, I think, at all the dealers.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too late by then. Huh?
Yeah, I know. I probably will, but I do want to fill the run. So, and that'll probably be my best shot at completing the What If run at New York Comic Con.
For me, I know I was busy looking up for this and we kind of moved past it, but for the Eternals, man, one of my favorite castings there is the guy from Silicon Valley and Franklin and Bash, Kumail.
Okay.
Nanjiani.
Because we were Kumail.
We love Kumail.
He's not Indian. I think he's Pakistani, actually.
I follow his channel on Instagram called We Love Kumail. It's all about that guy. It's a people.
Hilarious.
He's great, dude. I loved him in Franklin and Bash. I forget the movie that he wrote and directed. I think it was kind of like a true story. Him and his wife.
It's
Sickness.
Kumail Nanjiani, The Big Sick. Right?
Yes, The Big Sick.
Ray Romano was in that. That was a good movie.
Yeah. He's great, dude. I love him. I mean, well, not Ray. Ray's funny too, but
he was in Ray's all right. Whatever. Ray Romano from Queens. He was in a movie that came out recently that I didn't see that looked pretty funny to me. It was called Stuber or something like that. It was about stupid.
With what's his name? Drax.
With Drax, yeah.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Dave Bautista. There you go.
I gotta rent that. I gotta rent that, or I hope that's on Netflix at some point because I wanted to see that. It looked pretty fun to me.
You know what I think, man? Because things just pivot in entertainment. There was talks before that Batista and this girl, they were doing this comic book movie, like a hitman type of thing, father daughter, and then they just steered away from it. I think they just kept Batista, signed him, and just kind of flipped the script to make that, because that's what it is, right? Batista's a hitman, and the other guy, and it's basically the same movie, but without
cop. Undercover
Batista's a cop.
But you guys know the comic I was talking about? I forget.
Well, he's like an undercover cop as being an Uber driver, and Kumail Nanjiani's character just happens to get the wrong Uber driver that night, and then hilarity ensues or whatever.
Yep.
So Gretzky saying Marvel should add Tom Hardy as Wolverine and mess up Sony into doing a Spider-Man deal. That's actually pretty sinister move if that were to happen. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What did Huda, I think, posted one Night Monkey. So I was like, that's the next movie, dude. Just do Night Monkey. That's the loophole that we need. Have him keep the mask on the whole time. You could still use MJ because they've already gone on record saying that she is not Mary Jane, that those are just her initials, MJ.
Yeah, it's Michelle Brown, Michelle something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Mary Jane. So that's not a bad idea. Then the whole community's like, well, what's the first comic book appearance of Night Monkey? How do I get my hands on that?
I need that right now.
I need that. Where's that?
I'm sure there's an advertisement in the last page of some comic.
Yeah, exactly.
People are going crazy for that D23 exclusive, right?
D12.
Yeah, was that Art Germ that did that, or was it somebody else?
I have no idea who did it. I've only just seen the picture of it, and I'm like, someone was asking, like, well, some Spider-Man.
Mickey Mouse on the cover, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Someone was like, since Spider-Man's no longer with Disney, is this going to be like a recall? And I'm like, dude, I don't think that's how recalls work. But that has nothing to do with the comic book character.
Maybe it's on Key Collector.
Because Spider-Man still belongs to Marvel for all merchandising, dude.
Marvel's still owned by Disney, so either way, like just because they share that with freaking Fox, it's the same as Incredible Hulk being shared by Universal. Marvel still has all the rights to their marketing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they just can't make an Incredible Hulk movie. He has to be in someone else's. And Sony has a weird thing too with Spider-Man. Like, I don't think they're gonna, especially now, but if they ever go 3 years without making a Spider-Man movie, it goes back to Marvel.
Right. Well, think about it really. Like, I'm sure if Disney was that perturbed about like it, they could just buy Fox, right? Like, I mean, in reality, couldn't.
Yeah, but in all reality, like that's like they don't really care about that much. Like to us, it's like, dude, they totally bought Fox because of the comic characters. Like, no, man, no. There's so much because of so much other stuff, like the movie titles and TV shows and the streaming service. This is a streaming war. Like the comic book characters were just like a little cherry on the top. That's not the reason for the deal.
Yeah, but I do think that a lot of the comic book films have really driven a lot of the movie market over the past few years too.
So that's the cover, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Why Star Wars too? I mean, between like Star Wars and the Marvel films, I mean, that's been that's just 50% of the film income in the last few years.
Dude, I'm with you, man, but I'm just saying, like, for the back catalog of stuff that they're gonna get now for their streaming service, like Netflix, this is just like the .com wars, bro.
You're right about that.
Like, they just scooped up The Simpsons, like all these TV shows and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm excited. We'll see where this goes.
The cover was done by Humberto Ramos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Humberto.
With colors by Edgar Delgado.
That's my pseudonym.
The cat.
So is Marvel Comics 1000? I know that's a D23 exclusive variant for Marvel Comics 1000. Is that coming out next Wednesday?
There's like a She-Hulk one too, I think.
They're doing those borders again, aren't they? With like the people around the edges. I think there's like 974 variants for it.
Okay, so what is the what's the special? Why is a Marvel 1000?
I don't even know.
It's not their 1000th comic book because the Incredible Hulk, the Legacy almost is up to 800. Like,
I mean, yeah, just with X-Men and Spider-Man comics alone, they've had like 2,000 issues. So
I felt like this was something they were trying to go after, like the Detective Comics 1000 that came out a month ago. They're like, people went after that. Let's make a Marvel Comics 1000. Like,
yeah, I don't quite understand
2,363 variants to be exact.
There you go, 2,363. Because 900.
Because it's a nice round number.
974 was just not enough for me. They couldn't hang with 974.
Yes.
I mean, look, I might get the A cover if I could figure out which one of them is the A cover.
Yeah.
I'll probably call it a day. But just because it's like, I guess it's 80 pages drawn by 80 different artists and 80 different writers. Is that your guys' understanding of it? That's what I thought.
I haven't even looked into it, so.
But that's I mean, I guess it's like a unique way to put together a comic book. I don't know how it's the 1,000th Marvel Comics.
Yeah, in my head, I just viewed it as a way for them to try and sell a bunch of extra comic books.
Basically. Yeah, basically.
Everything sells more when you put the number 1,000 behind it.
Exactly, because there's no that doesn't mean anything to me. Like,
yeah, Marvel is copying DC.
You want to buy a pogo stick, or do you want a pogo stick 5,000? Totally want the pogo stick 5,000. It's so much better. 5,000.
Right? Was there ever a comic book that was just called Marvel Comics?
There was Marvel Comics. So the first Marvel comic book was Marvel Comics #1, 1938, Timely Comics.
Now, did they do 999 of them? No.
No, they didn't. That book didn't run 1,000 issues like Detective Comics or Action Comics did. It had different volumes and turned into different books. Like, it was first Marvel Comics, then it turned into Marvel Mystery Comics, then those two lines got killed, and then later they did other books like Marvel Comics Presents or Marvel Spotlight and other Marvel related titles. But Marvel Comics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way till 1,000, that didn't happen.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like it's just a way for them to try and throw another comic book out there for everybody to buy up real quick.
Gretzky with that's some heat right there. Marvel up to 2005 was House of Ideas, and now 2006 to 2019, the House of No Ideas. JP saying it's a money grab. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would just say it's a pretty straightforward money grab. But that said, it's still kind of a unique idea, I guess, with the way that they put it together with 80 different pages, 80 different artists kind of thing. I mean, that might
I'll give them that.
Yeah, it might make it jarring to read, like it might make it like confusing. Who knows? But I don't know what the final product is, and I don't know what the story is. So
cool.
I will give it a shot probably, but just one copy. I agree. Just one copy. I'm not going to go insane. Hey, Stay Puff. What's going on, brother?
What up, Stay Puff? Thanks for coming by.
Thank you. So anything else about D23, Marvel, and or Star Wars? I mean, or anything else?
I'm excited for their Pixar stuff, man.
Well, go break that down a little bit because I'm less familiar with what they announced.
I can't remember all the titles, but there was one that really stuck out was Soul, and it just looked like I couldn't tell you much.
Soul Goodman?
No, I remember that movie. No,
Soul good, man.
I think it was an all-black cast, and it might have been like a jazz type of thing.
Okay.
That's what I got from the image. Like, granted, I was watching someone who had edited the D23 releasing, so they weren't like elaborating; they were just like chopped up.
Yeah.
So it was less time consuming for me to get in everything, but that stood out. Dwayne The Rock and Emily Blunt, I think her name is. They have one coming out.
John Krasinski's wife.
Yep. Which they want both of them.
Really, we should just say he's Emily Blunt's husband.
Yes.
It's Emily Blunt's.
But it's cool, man, because a lot of fans want them to be Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic, man.
Dude, I would kill that. I would say that would be an ideal cast choice.
I think it'd be a good casting.
Yeah, I think it would be phenomenal.
But I don't want to butcher it up anymore because I can't really remember any other titles besides Frozen 2. And
I think all in all, they made some good announcements, especially this. I would say the Star Wars side honestly killed the conference compared to the Marvel side. Like the Marvel side was good, don't get me wrong, but they didn't have a ton of new movie news. Like we already knew that Black Panther 2 was coming out. We already knew that the Eternals was happening. They just announced a big new casting choice with Kit Harington. So that was probably their biggest movie news. Their new series, definitely big news. Moon Knight, especially, that's some big news. But for me, hearing that Obi-Wan was real and then watching an actual piece of content from The Mandalorian that blew my expectations out of the water, like that, those two things combined really made them win quote unquote the weekend for me. And tomorrow we'll all be able to check out the Rise of Skywalker trailer, new teaser that they showed, where apparently Rey could be going to the dark side. We'll see. Probably a little bit of a bait and switch is my guess, but still should be cool to see it. And they also released a new poster for the movie with Palpatine like in the background, and and you got Rey and Kylo in a crazy lightsaber fight on like in like a ocean water scenario.
Yeah, from what I heard, man, that poster is actually in the footage. That's going to be it's a heavy downpour of rain. Like it sounded really cool.
That sounds cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing that footage tomorrow. Gretzky's saying Frozen 2 out this November, so that's probably another huge priority for Disney. I mean, I saw the first one. I'm probably not going to see the second one.
I probably won't need to see that one.
Gretzky, what is Obi-Wan doing just sorting on the planet? We don't know. There was no story details, but the only details that were released was that they're filming it next year.
No timeline yet, right? We don't really know when.
No, they're filming it next year. So I mean, it's almost next year already in the scheme of things, right? Like it's September essentially. So they're going to be filming it in 2020. So my guess is it'll come out in 2021. Is my guess, or maybe early 2022 at latest, but hopefully sometime in 2021. That would be pretty awesome if we get that. So, what did we miss anything? I think we covered basically the major things to happen at D23 this year. I mean.
Really, it was just getting all their players on stage in front of everybody and just kind of. I think they were doing the Disney. Their streaming service. They were setting that up. Yeah, they were trying to do like a 3-year advance
bundle.
Sign up.
Dude, if I was there, I totally would have signed up to save that money, dude. Like, right? I'm all about, like, if you saw my Marvel Unlimited unboxing yesterday or the day before, like I'm all about paying a little bit more now so that I save more money in the long term.
It makes sense.
I know not everybody is, has the ability to do that. Like everybody's got their own budgets and their own, income and whatnot. But like, I try to take advantage of that as much as possible because at the end of the day, it's like, you may only be spending $9.99 a month now, but you're spending $130 or $120 every year if you're paying $9.99.
Yeah, imagine. I mean, like you said, we don't always have it, but if I have a chunk of change and I'm like, okay, like the DC streaming service, I paid the $80 or whatever, and I was like, it's good to go.
Exactly, because you're gonna save money that way. So I always encourage saving money if you can. Gretzky saying pushed Wonder Woman back. I'm not sure what that's about.
I said the before that. Read the comment before that.
Frozen and Jumanji pushed Wonder Woman back to June 2020. Isn't that kind of? I mean, that news has been out there for a minute though, right? That wasn't new news that came out this weekend, or was it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I am looking forward to seeing the next Wonder Woman movie. I mean, June 2020 is not that far away. June 2020 is 9 months away.
I want to see it too, man. I'm just worried how they're going to work in, what's his name? Chris Pine. Like, he's dead. Like, do you think they're just going to they just were doing that to get some buzz? Like, maybe it's just start having visions?
I have the same concern because I thought it felt like a pretty clean way to set Diana's character forward. Like, she'll always remember that situation and, like, hold it close, but she doesn't have to be defined by it. But now they're bringing him back. It's like, okay, well, how does that happen? You know,
maybe it's just her like looking through the mall and she just sees like, you know, like those visions, like, you know, where they do it all the time in movies.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the setting is in what, 1984?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's totally dead. Like,
Yeah.
like even if he survived, right? I mean,
yeah, it's like that's what 40 years after ish, right?
I feel like
well, they were what, World War One? So what,
50
19?
years. Yeah, 50
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
there's probably like a god or something that like brings him back or does something. I'm sure.
Yeah, it is comics. You gotta always keep in mind it's comics.
Max Lord brings him back to get Wonder Woman to help fight Cheetah.
I'm not seeing the comment yet. I want to highlight it, but StreamYard's getting kind of delayed here.
Hey, we hit an hour, man. We haven't gone this long in a while, guys.
I know. Well,
right?
I guess we had it built up here.
Yeah, we did. We did.
We had a lot to talk about. I'm still not seeing that comment. Oh, there it is.
Very last one.
He says, "I heard Max Lord brings him back to get one." Okay. Yeah.
That would make sense, man.
That would make sense.
I do want to know how Cheetah's gonna play, man, because Kristen Wiig really wasn't one of my favorite actresses. All Ghostbusters aside, I care for that.
I find her really funny, but I didn't really foresee. I mean, I don't know if they're going with a funny angle.
I think she's going for a serious angle, and I think she's trying to prove some acting chops. But we'll see. We haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I really haven't seen that from her before, so that's a valid concern.
I'm not saying she can't do it. It was just one of them choices when they made it. I was like, really? Like, out of all the people in the sun?
Yeah, I kind of had the same reaction. Even though I like her technically, I think she's funny in her funny roles because she's a funny person. But you know, I wasn't. But then I was like, well, is this a funny role? And then I was like, oh well, maybe she's
maybe in the beginning, like if she's like that funny neurotic type of geeky nerdy. You know,
that's who's playing Cheetah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig. Yeah.
Okay.
So
he's like,
yeah, she was on Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's been a minute since she was on SNL, but
that's what I'd recommend.
I mean, she's probably. I mean, honestly, let's be real. She's most famous for Bridesmaids.
I haven't seen that.
That's her like. That was
and even then, Melissa McCarthy stole the show.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's a hilarious film, dude. I mean, that's one of those films where like it comes on TV or whatever. Like if I'm traveling and it's like I'm in a hotel room, like I've literally seen that movie in a hotel room on TV like 3 times. Like I won't turn that movie off if it just comes up.
It's hilarious, man.
It's funny.
In its own right too, because I remember when it first came out, people were gonna try to be like, "Oh, it's like a female Hangover." Like, no, man, it's funny on its own way. No, it's awesome.
It's good. All right. Well, I think we can probably start wrapping things up. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, maybe as D23 info starts coming out a little bit more, they give us some more info on the movies and the streaming services, cast and members and stuff like that. But I think we touched on about all we can.
Yeah, I mean, D23 is over basically as of a few.
Well, I mean, the news that we heard. If we learn more about the news that we heard at D23
tomorrow, like I said, some of the exclusive Star Wars stuff that was shown at D23 is going to make its way to the public.
I'm psyched for that.
Yeah, so maybe more of the other. I don't know what else was exclusively shown at D23, but maybe more of that will start to trickle out over the course of this week. So that should be pretty cool. It's pretty interesting.
I think they gave us some good stuff though. Disney through 23.
I think so, especially so soon after Comic-Con, after giving us a lot of stuff.
Dude, I gotta be honest, it was more than what they gave us at. Comic-Con. Hall H, like all they did was reiterated Hall H. We had a Blade announcement and maybe it was mainly casting announcements, man.
No, I feel like there was definitely more at Comic-Con. It's just like there was Shang-Chi, there was the Doctor Strange movie, there was the Thor Love and Thunder movie, there was official confirmation on the Eternals. There was a lot there. I mean, but I think there was a little bit of a sense of disappointment from fans because they were
probably expecting this
because they only covered a 2-year period, and previously in these like big, Kevin Feige.
Yeah, they map out the whole phase.
Yeah, they would do like 5 years worth or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think there was a little bit of a sense of like, oh, they didn't announce enough at Comic-Con, and they didn't announce another 2 or 3 years worth at D23. They only announced 3 shows and a movie that we already knew about. You know what I mean? So from that perspective, it wasn't like,
This is probably why that was all they
equal.
They needed to save something for D23.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was intentional. They just like literally split what they had up, in that ratio. It was kind of like 2/3 at Comic-Con, 1/3 at D23. I was personally hoping more from the film presentation for Marvel, like, besides the Black Panther 2 confirmation and date and like 3 new casting decisions.
Yeah, because really all we saw was the cast of Eternals. We already knew about Eternals.
Yeah,
and we already knew about Black Panther
too. So it was really the film side of Marvel that was probably the letdown for me on D23. But that said, I was so stoked about the Star Wars stuff at D23 that I didn't really care.
And I'm sure what that did, they're going to start advertising more stuff on their own websites and things. So I'd assume.
Awesome, Gretzky. Yeah, I mean, I was not born in 1983.
I was a year old, depending on what month you went to see that. So, but that's all right, man. I've watched them plenty of times over and over. And we were actually talking about this the other day, where it's like, I can never find the original cut of that, man, to where the ending with the Ewoks, like they've all been Lucas-fied.
I am literally watching like 9 or 10 different Laserdisc players on eBay, like wondering like which one is the better Laserdisc player, because I have no clue. And I'm watching a few people selling the original theatrical cuts of the first trilogy on Laserdisc, because that's like really the only way to watch it in high quality.
Oh yeah. Otherwise,
there are these like kind of like rogue filmographer types on the internet that offer up their own like despecialized versions. They like remove all the special edition stuff.
Yeah.
They try to revert the cuts visually back to like the original colors and the original.
They had they had the original Darth Vader ghost instead of Anakin. They had different music. It was.
So if you really wanted to put some work into it, you could track this stuff down online. So I had the original version on VHS also, but like VHS doesn't hold up over time; it deteriorates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that every time you watch it, the worse the quality gets. So I remember wearing the shit out of the original trilogy on VHS. It was just like I made copies. I took the original VHS, all 3 movies, and I dubbed them. You know what I mean, onto blank VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And I would have backup copies of it.
And then you lost them.
And no.
I'm just kidding.
Eventually, the original trilogy copies got so warped that the backup copies were better. Like it was better to watch the backup copy. So I'm glad I did that. I lost both the original and the backup copies years ago. And things gravitated to DVD and Blu-ray and all that. And then basically we were stuck with the special editions from there. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's what, Lucas made that decision. I want to say, and this isn't confirmed, but the rumor on the street is that part of his deal with Disney, like to sell Lucasfilm for $3 billion, was that they would leave his special editions alone, and that they would not re-release the original theatrical cuts, because he's so gung-ho about his special editions being his actual final vision of those movies as opposed to the original theatrical cuts.
Some of them are fine. It's just that movie in particular, I don't like the added stuff that they put in it. Like especially taking away that ending song with the Ewoks, and it was it was so classic, man.
Yeah, they messed with it in ways that that.
Once you see the original, you can't. That's what you want. You don't want to change.
Well, when you watch I hate to dwell just on that one song in the movie, but like when you see the ending, like it doesn't match the guys playing the drums on the helmets and stuff. It doesn't go. There's fireworks going on.
CGI, just the CGI, like you have the end of Return of the Jedi look like it's episode 1, The Phantom Menace, all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like having the original Darth Vader as the ghost in the end of it, because that's what you last saw him
me too.
Before he died. Like I don't want to see him as a young kid. Like he came back to the good side, as Darth Vader at the end.
If anything, you should have had Anakin all shaved up and scarred up if that's what you were gonna do. But
2 or 3 years ago, I went to Lincoln Center here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan to see the New York Philharmonic Orchestra play. So you watched Return of the Jedi. I watched Return of the Jedi. Of course, they would only allow using the special edition or whatever. It was still a mind-blowing experience to watch the New York Philharmonic Orchestra do the John Williams score while watching Return of the Jedi on a big screen.
So cool.
I couldn't get tickets to A New Hope and Empire. They also did A New Hope.
Oh, it was literally the whole movie?
The whole movie, and you have the New York Philharmonic Orchestra do the score.
Yeah, that's all, because you hear them start like rising up.
While the movie is playing, perfectly balanced sound-wise, mix-wise to what was going on the screen. It was amazing. And then I went back the next night to do they did the Force Awakens as well. So I got to see the Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi played by the New York Philharmonic Orchestra while watching the movie at Lincoln Center. That was probably
that's rad, man.
Musically,
that's awesome, dude.
Star Wars wise and musically wise, that was probably the highlight of my Star Wars fandom. Like it's just it blew my mind.
Yeah, dude, that's all. Like, because I was asking because a friend of mine went to something like that. Not the Philharmonic, but where they'll play like Steven Spielberg.
Yeah,
and then you'll see like Jurassic Park, Jaws, like they show clips from other.
It's a real popular thing for orchestras, not just in New York, but like all over the country to do now. Like they will play the score for like.
I think it's great, and it's a great way to get kids in there to start learning instruments and
100%.
Like hearing these sounds, seeing where they come from instead of just hearing it on the screen.
100%, dude. It was definitely culturally like one of the coolest like ways to experience, because everybody's so hyped, you know what I mean? So you have that kind of like opening night kind of vibe, like even though everybody's seen the movie like 100 times, you know what I mean? People are gonna like cheer like crazy for the big moments and whatnot in that kind of a setting, and then you have the like guttural impact of that orchestra playing like right in front of your face.
Right there in front of you.
Dude, it's sick. So I've been looking out for their schedule, like seeing like what kind of film to film the score things that they were doing. I missed seeing Amadeus. They did Amadeus. That would have been awesome though. Like what a classic story and movie and score and musical lore.
The original Michael Keaton Batman would be good.
That would be cool. Yeah. Superman would be cool. Like that's another classic John Williams score right there.
Yep.
How amazing would that be? But anyway, so great show, guys. This was a fun night.
Yeah,
we went
had a blast.
Longer
catching up again
than we thought we were gonna go. So next Sunday, I think I have my slab down match. So I guess I don't know how late that whole thing will end up going down, but I can probably do an episode as soon as that's.
Yeah, well, me and Bake will be there in the chat.
And you got a match too, I think, right? Because they're kind of do a double header match with you and Issue.
They said they were saying something like if they had to, I don't know. Like
I don't think they're gonna do a double header, man. Their matches go too long.
Yeah, the match is gonna go a little bit long, so I hope it's not a double header. But I did commit my schedule to be available for it.
Yeah, and me and Bake will be there rooting you on. So.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I got some interesting battle cover choices.
What's your theme?
It's a good battle cover.
Battle cover and blood covers for you, right?
Yeah, blood covers for him. Yeah.
Are you guys the last two matchups of the first round, or is there someone else? Oh,
Hudat and Bear on it.
Hudat and Bear. So there's 3 more matchups.
I think so. I think the first round's done after those 3.
And they did an exhibition one tonight.
Yeah, I was able to pop in there for a few minutes, but then we had to start the show. So
nice.
All right, so we'll hopefully see you guys next Sunday, both for Slapdown and Direct Edition Squad episode 17. This has been episode 16. Have a great Sunday, guys.
Thank you all for watching. Later.
Bye.